Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Pay closer attention to businesses in different social groups. Pay close attention to it. And for two primary reasons. One, it might be a social group that you're actually a part of. That might be the business opportunity for you. Like, mentioned in the previous podcast about talking about subcultures, like a mini economy and all of that. That's what all social groups are. Like, for example, you ever go to like a mall and you get like a store like Hot Topic or something like that? And, you get the kids come in, they might be wearing like different types of things, not quite in the mainstream. I noticed almost every mall has a store like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's social group, subculture, whatever you call it, might be bigger. So, when you pay attention to your own social group, what do y'all like in particular? Like I've mentioned several times about it within the Black community, the natural hair movement. And in fact, next month, there's a natural hair expo in Baltimore I'll be attending with my sons, and I could probably set up a table if I like, but they only good to sit around for about an hour at best, so I'll just walk through. But that's a social group right there. If you ever go to like one of those natural hair shows or something, or just familiar with it, it's a totally different vibe as far as the clothes people can sell, the products they can sell, because they'll sell hair products, of course, but then also body products. Like, Rom will hook up a shea butter producer and stuff, even clothing. I have a very good friend, very dear friend. She's a clothing designer and actually have one of her original pieces. I still have one of her original pieces and everything. And she will dress me. I always get a hookup from her, always. And she'd be sponsoring fashion shows and everything. But it's a different style. It's not the normal style that, people wearing every day, more bohemian type of style. And it was like, okay. Now for business, for your own thing, if you in like whatever your social group is, how do they dress? What do they eat? What do they talk about? What kind of clothing would appeal to them? What kind of business would? Like, okay, say you really get it, like you take Rom's body game to another level. That's your whole lifestyle. How you eating, the clothes you wearing, the people you hang out with. Say totally into that like fitness culture, totally into it. All right, what kind of stuff do they like? What kind of foods do they drink? What kind of supplements, What if you're a nutritionist? What type of clients you can get out of that community? That's your social group. Okay, pay attention to everything about that social group. What do they need? Because that's what business comes down to, fulfilling needs or providing a service. Having a product that appeals. Years ago, I did something on this channel about skateboarding. That's a totally different thing. How they dress, how they interact. All of that is so important and everything. But then on another level, see, that's what you in. But on another level, just learning, seriously. You know what? I'm going to tell you what, one of the best ways to really learn something is not reading it in a book or listening to a podcast or anything. It's not. No, those things are very important. Let me get that clear. Listening to podcasts, teachers, reading the books, those are very important. But one of the most important ways is just to observe directly. In sociology, they'll call it qualitative research, basically field research. Be among that group. Now, this ain't even necessary for yourself. Sometimes you can just pay attention to a group that you have nothing in, but you can get an idea about something that maybe you can apply business-wise to your particular social group. Like I mentioned that thing about Hot Topic. That's a popular store. And they actually it's another store that sells similar. Like, it's ironic, in my local mall, most of the stores are closing. I mean, there's empty store after empty store. But those stores that appeal to young people who wear maybe funkier type of styles, more bohemian type of styles and stuff, they're still doing well. Like one store has a type of jewelry, piercings and all of that. They haven't had a problem. They always have somebody in there every time I walk past it. And I was like, wow. Oh, and another store, Victoria's Secret. They never seem to go out of business. But then that's tapping into something. Women want to wear sexy underwear. So pay attention, then you get an idea, even if it's not your group. Like I said, no, golf type of stuff and, style like that ain't me at all. But I'm like, wait a minute, okay. What they selling in clothing, jewelry, okay. What group am I in? What appeals to that group? Because and I started touching on this in a previous podcast. The real key to an economy is the community and what they want to buy. I'm going to tell you how powerful that is. Say you have a neighborhood. And they sell certain types of food. Like I'm going to use a vegan example. They sell certain types of food in the stores, like the meats, everything, the restaurants. Well, let me use the restaurants in a particular area. The restaurants, they got all the meat stuff and all of that. All right. Okay. What if for whatever reason you start getting a different type of people that move in? What if you get a different type of people who move in who are vegan and stuff? In fact, there's a neighborhood in Baltimore. It's just it's a tiny little section, very tiny. But they got a lot of stores that appeal to a more, I'd say more holistic crowd. They got a lot of stores in this, it's on like this one little street, Charles Street and stuff. I haven't been there in years, but Charles Street in Baltimore and everything. And you got certain stuff that appeals to people and stuff. It's easy to find a vegan restaurant or stores like this one part. It's like Charles and 25th. There's a brother that owns half the block. And I was looking at the stores, and he's a brother with locks. But half the stores, it appeals to a certain type of crowd, certain type of group. That's the thing, though. You just pay attention. Even if you're not in the group, pay attention. And then pay attention to your own group. What do they want? That's business right there. And remember, in the previous podcast, I said, I gave the example of someone in a small group of 200 people selling like personal care products, and they get only 100 people in that group will buy the stuff, their particular products. But if they spend $100 a month, that's $10,000 a month. that's $100,000 off the rip. And I'm saying average $100, because if they expand it, they can make even more just from a small group of people. But pay attention to those things. And let me say something about that group of people. Because I was thinking about, I have no problem saying I make six figures. I have no problem saying that. When I look at how many people support me monthly, it's only a few hundred. Like steady support. Like steady, like consistent. Like joining my subscription sites and everything. And, you get a few more who will buy a book from me. And then sitting through the video ads and everything. It's not that many. So I want y'all to think about that. You can make a lot of money with fewer steady customers. And I actually learned that from this bookstore owner, peace be unto his soul. There was a strong Muslim brother. And he had a bookstore. And he said, just need 100 customers a month, steady customers a month. So I want y'all to think about that. Indeed, that's why some barbers can make. There are some barbers out there who make six figures. But it's the group. All right? So anyway, y'all, let's go make that money.